trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, President Biden facing new scrutiny after classified files were found in a private office.
Plus, we take a look at several bills introduced at the Capitol today, including one concerning sports betting.
But first tonight, several rural fire departments say they responded to a record number of calls in 2022. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Two of those fire departments are in Seward and York.
They say not only did they respond to more calls, but they've been quickly growing their departments and training staff because of that. Channel 8's Matthew Mitleider has more now in our top story.
Last year saw a lot of fires across Nebraska, including wildfires just outside of Lincoln. Rural fire departments say they've worked hard to be able to handle the increase in calls. The York Fire Department says in 2021 they saw about 1,450 calls, and last year that number reached over 1,600. Fire Chief Tony Bestwick says they've been doing a lot of training to stay prepared. Bestwick says rural firefighting is different than in the city because instead of being assigned to one truck, workers at York do a bit of everything.
We set a record on training. We did over 3,200 hours of training. Being a small combination fire department, our people have to know from anywhere from EM to EMS calls. They have to be able to go on fire calls. They have to be able to run our 100-foot aerial platform, do tanker operations. They basically need to know everything about firefighting.
Last year, multiple people also received new medical licenses and certifications, including EMT, advanced EMT, paramedic, EMS instructor, and fire instructor. Bestwick says they also shut down burn permits in York to stay in control of the amount of wildfires, but still saw some fires in croplands last year. The Seward Volunteer Fire Department also had a record number of fire and rescue calls in 2022 and has done over 1,200 hours of training.
We're actually sitting in a really good spot right now. All of our members, they're trained to the max, they're putting the time in, and we have a great influx of people coming in right now.
They say other aspects of rural firefighting that can be tough is the variety of calls they get and having to bring enough water and equipment along to calls in rural areas.
With us, we have to have tankers in our fleet. We have to have grass rigs in our fleet to deal with the grass fires. It differs. The apparatus, we're going to have more of it. It's going to cost a little bit more as far as population is concerned.
They say as the city grows, they've gotten more volunteers and EMTs, but could always use more. They say the department doesn't require people to have a background in firefighting to join because they'll be holding several training classes this year. Reporting for Channel 8, this is Matthew Mitleider.
And again, the fire departments say they're always looking for more volunteers. So if you're interested, check out the links on this story on our website, klkntv.com. Well, today was day 4 of senators introducing bills during this new legislative session.
Among those introduced this week are 2 intended to ensure rights of the LGBTQ+ community. Bill 169, introduced by Senators Megan Hunt and John Frederickson, both of Omaha, would update the state's non-discrimination laws. It would make sure that LGBTQ+ Nebraskans are treated fairly in employment. Frederickson says this will benefit Nebraska's workforce as more people will feel comfortable in applying to jobs.
This makes it crystal clear that we are protecting Nebraskans based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and their employment settings. And really, frankly, all Nebraskans are going to benefit from this. This is something that is going to send a really good message as a state that we are welcoming, that we are inclusive.
Senator Frederickson also introduced a bill that would prohibit conversion therapy on minors and provide for disciplinary sanctions. There is also a bill that would expand sports betting here in Nebraska.
That's right. With new casinos going up here in the state, legalized betting on sports at those locations is still months away. Now, the current rule says when that time comes, you won't be able to bet on Nebraska teams playing in the state. But one lawmaker wants to change that.
Nebraska teams playing in Nebraska are already subject to sports betting. At the moment, just not in Nebraska, but across the country, people are betting on the Huskers, for example, when they're playing here in Nebraska, when they're playing at Memorial Stadium. And I think we just need consistency in our laws.
Now, Senator Bostar's bill calls for the tax revenue from in-state sport betting to go to financial aid for Nebraska students. Now, the bill still has to go through a hearing process before it could possibly go any further. Governor Jim Pillen hosted his first news conference this morning.
He talked about human trafficking in our state and how law enforcement and the legislature have worked to address the problem. Pillen signed a proclamation making January Human Trafficking Awareness Month. State Attorney General Mike Hilgers was also there in support. He said, together with law enforcement, Nebraskans play an important role in stopping human trafficking in Nebraska.
Human trafficking can best be confronted by educating a citizenry, the Nebraskans, and alerting authorities.
Nebraskans, I think, believe the best in people. It's one of the reasons why we're the greatest state in the country, and the people in Nebraska are such good individuals. We are good-hearted and assume the best in others, and unfortunately, human trafficking happens right here in Nebraska.
The State Patrol said they receive an average of 12 calls per month after introducing a new hotline to stop human trafficking. Remember, if you see something, you can call that number on your screen, 833-PLEASE-LOOK. Now to Capitol Hill, where Republicans are blasting President Biden. It's over classified documents from his time in the Obama administration that were recently discovered at a private office of Biden's.
The White House says it's cooperating with the Justice Department in its review of the files. ABC's Elizabeth Schultze has more from Washington.
President Biden is facing new scrutiny as the Justice Department looks into how classified files from his time as vice president in the Obama administration ended up in a private office workspace instead of properly stored at the National Archives. Sources tell ABC News a small number of classified documents were discovered one day before the midterm elections in November in an office at the Biden Penn Center think tank in Washington, D.C. Biden had worked in that space from 2017 until the start of his 2020 campaign. On 60 Minutes last year, Biden criticized former President Trump over his alleged mishandling of hundreds of classified files he brought to his estate in Florida.
What did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen, how anyone could be that irresponsible.
Republicans now quick to call Biden hypocritical.
I just know that he said it was very irresponsible for President Trump to take classified document to his personal residence and have them in an unsecured location, and it appears he did the same thing.
But the White House points to key differences in the cases, saying it's fully cooperating with the Justice Department and National Archives, adding the documents were discovered by Biden's personal attorneys as they were cleaning out a locked office space. Those lawyers immediately notified the archives and turned over the files within a day. Trump's legal team allegedly resisted an FBI subpoena to turn over hundreds of documents, leading to the court-authorized search of his Mar-a-Lago home. Authorities also allege Trump may have obstructed justice in the investigation.
President Biden hasn't responded yet to questions from reporters about the discovery of these documents. Attorney General Merrick Garland assigned a U.S. attorney who was appointed by former President Trump to oversee the review. Elizabeth Schultze, ABC News, Washington.
And Nebraska Representative Don Bacon is responding to the news of the found documents.
When you're living in a glass house, don't be throwing stones, right? And I always felt like it was overplayed, the search of the Mar-a-Lago. I think when you're going to do that to a next president, you got to be very careful.
Yeah, Bacon went on to say the search of Mar-a-Lago changed the threshold for bitter criticism and hyperpartisanship, and they should be very careful before doing the FBI raid.
Let's talk about your weather now. Another dandy day. Here's Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins with more.
Yeah, a couple of days in a row where we had temperatures well above average. It was nice to get outside and do just about anything outside, really. That's going to kind of change as we head through the next couple of days. We got a little precipitation headed our way, but the weather headlines looks like this. Cooler tomorrow, not by a whole lot, but still cooler. Some precipitation chances as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. And then after a couple of cool days, we're looking at a fairly mild weekend headed our way. Satellite radar out there, plenty of cloud cover, maybe a sprinkler or two in north central Nebraska. A lot of that not getting to the ground, but at least, oh my goodness, look at this sunset. Oh, that is awesome. Honda of Lincoln looking at a fantastic sunset. South 27th and Yankee Hill Road. I just love this time of year when the sunset just times perfectly with the weather forecast. So well, we'll continue to do that as long as we can. Temperatures right now are in the 40s, so still well above average. We should be in the middle 30s this time of year. Instead, we're in the 40s. It is cooler to the north and west where there is still snow on the ground, but it is slowly but surely melting away, which is a benefit. The slower that snow melts, the better chance it has to just going right into the ground instead of running off. So hopefully that is the case for a while. Wind speed is very light out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour, a little more gusty to the north and west. So we'll keep an eye on that. Your forecast for tonight, temperatures slowly drop into the 30s as we head through 10 p.m., 36 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So a quiet night tonight. Looks like most of the day will be quiet tomorrow, but there is a system that we should talk about that looks like it wants to track just to our south, may bring us some rain, maybe some snow. More on that in a few minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. Coming up, all it took was some fabric and thread for a Lexington, Nebraska teenager to make a difference.
The story of how one idea helped kids in foster care have something to call their own after the break.
Servers and entrepreneurs.
Now to a feel-good story out of Lexington, Nebraska. One teenager made and donated blankets to kids in need who may have been taken away from their homes urgently and then put into foster care.
The story shows us what could feel so small to one person can mean the world to another.
Well, it's important for these kids to feel loved.
All it took was some fabric and thread for 14-year-old Jalen Roberts to make a difference.
She does have a servant heart.
That's because her parents work closely with at-risk youth, her father a police officer, and her mother the juvenile clerk for Dawson County Court.
I see how many foster kids come in and out of Dawson County, how many cases are open and closed, and the difficulty that these children face.
That's probably one of the toughest things, you know, is taking kids from their home. It's a tough thing to do.
They say they raised their kids to appreciate everything they have and help those less fortunate. That's why Jalen wanted to make blankets for kids in foster care by donating them to the Dawson-Gosper County CASA office to be handed out.
We've served 107 kids this last year. So we thought, okay, which kids can we pick, because she wanted to do about 25.
But it quickly grew to nearly 50 blankets. That's after Homes, a local organization helping those in need, donated materials so Jalen could make more.
It's important to us that we're able to instill this volunteer mentality in the younger kids and then assist that. She already has done several projects and has partnered with Homes in the past. And so it was important to us to help her in a project that she came up with on her own.
She says she's passionate about giving kids something of their own.
We really talked about what kind of experiences are these kids having, and they don't have a lot of things for themselves, and so I was really excited when she chose that project.
But she didn't do it all by herself. Her siblings helped out too.
I did threading, where I took out some of the thread on the outside, and then I cut and tied some of the blankets as well. Cut some of the blanket, I tied it, and I holded it with her to take the picture.
With each blanket specifically chosen for each child, she made something they can have for a lifetime.
We've received feedback from our volunteers of how the kids reacted and just how excited they were to have something that is their own, because sometimes when these kids are removed, they leave with nothing.
Jalen says all the hours of sewing, cutting, and tying fabric was worth it. What was your favorite part about the project?
Probably making the blankets and delivering them. It's important for them to feel important to other people, to know that they're cared about.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Mother Nature has been very kind to us the last couple of evenings with a gorgeous sunset. Look at this one, Southeast Community College at 84th and O. This is, whenever the sunsets line up with weather at 5 and then at 6 and, well, not 10, but you get what I mean. It's look at that, just peeking through the edge of that cloud cover. Love a Nebraska sunset. And I love it when it's warm too. 45 degrees Southeast Community College, as well as Yankee Hill Road. 47s everywhere else, Airport East Campus, Denton Road. Just about everybody in the 40s, even some 50s still out there. Fairbury at 51 degrees. Not even Falls City. Falls City is usually one of the warmer spots around here, 45 degrees, but you don't have to go too far to the north, and it's much colder because of that snowpack. But south central and southeastern Nebraska, not a lot of snow on the ground. That's either good or bad, depends on how you look at it. If you need the moisture, it's bad. We could use that, but if it's not a thing that you are concerned about, then it makes for a warmer couple of days. Wind is out of the south and east. That's one of the reasons we're warmer. Once that switches around out of the north and west, which is going to tomorrow, things are going to change up. There's the edge of that cloud cover that we were just looking at it. That's on the cameras. You can see the edge there, and the camera can just kind of peek right through there and see the sun as it's setting. But a couple of radar returns going on here just west of North Platte, near O'Neill, Holt County. A lot of this is not reaching the ground. It's a loft, so there's some moisture in the cloud cover, but it's not quite getting to the ground. You can kind of tell because it just kind of shows up and then just kind of meanders around, not really acting like rain does when it gets to the surface. So Stormcast correctly saying, yeah, probably not going to see moisture tonight. But this is, I'm going to show you two models. This is number one. Here comes this next storm system. Watch what it does. The low pressure system, this particular model has it well to our south along the Kansas-Oklahoma border. And as long as it stays that far south, none of that precipitation really makes it into our area. It just kind of scooches on off to the east and keeps all the precipitation in Kansas and Missouri. That's model number one. Here's number two. Notice it's a little further north, and it's going to kind of hover around the Kansas-Nebraska border. And so that gives us a better chance at a rain-snow mix as we head through Wednesday night into very early Thursday morning. It's quick. It doesn't stick around very long. Cloud cover does, but that rain-snow mix moves off to the east by Thursday morning. So Which one do I choose? What do I do with that? Well, I take the information and I'm just going to kind of split it in half. I think the better chance for snow will be to our south, especially to our west, though. If you notice, both of those models had snow in the Panhandle in western Nebraska. So this is a chance of over 1 inch of snow. We're less than a 10%, a little bit better further west and more so to the west. But I think we're going to see a rain chance and maybe mixing in with some snow. So the chance for 1 inch or more of snow is very, very low, but we could still see that rain-snow mix Wednesday night into very, very early Thursday morning. Tonight, temperatures are going to be very mild. We should be in the middle teens. We're going to be in the middle and upper 20s, 27, partly cloudy, still mild. That southeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So a warm day, but not quite as warm. A warm night, but not quite as warm tomorrow. We'll see 30s, 40s, maybe the middle 40s, 46 Hebron. We'll say 42 degrees in Lincoln. Mostly cloudy. That mixed precipitation potential is possible out there late afternoon into the evening hours. Northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So after that, pretty dry as we head towards the weekend. Get back to the 50s as we get into the weekend. So that's a nice weekend to get out and do some, if you didn't get your Christmas lights down last weekend, then maybe you could do it next weekend. And then temperatures cool off just a little bit, but not much. Again, we should be in the 30s, and we don't have any of those except for Thursday and Friday. After that, very mild several days, and the next chance for precipitation comes our way on Martin Luther King Day next Monday. So pretty mild 10-day forecast.
Yeah, to see a few 50s on the 10-day forecast for a January forecast.
Mid-January?
Yeah, that's pretty nice. All right. Thank you very much, Rusty. Positive gains on Wall Street today. The Dow gaining 186 points. NASDAQ is up 107. S&P adding 27. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight.
Finally tonight, some animals warm their way into your heart and some literally bust through your door.
Jeremy Roth has a trio of stories on this subject, and tonight's Take a Look at This.
You've heard of a bull in a china shop, but what about a deer in a butcher shop? Check out the crazy caught-on-camera moment when this fawn went flying into the facade of this store in Minnesota. Shattering the glass door and leaving a head-sized hole in the wall, the dazed doe stumbled around before hightailing it out of there. Look, I'm not trying to tell this deer how to live its life, but strolling into a butcher shop kind of feels like we're tempting fate, aren't we? For real, doe. An Iowa family is giving back to the children's hospital that gave them so much.
Can we say hi? Can Ruby visit?
With Ruby, the therapy dog. Both of the Ridnor children were treated for the same rare cancer at Blank's Children's Hospital, and both remember the comfort and joy the therapy dogs there gave them.
He'd come and I'd always be excited because it's Scout.
Now, their dad is paying it forward with a therapy dog of his own, spreading cheer and eliciting giggles from children going through some tough times.
I've been on that other side of the table, and I understand it's not comfortable sleeping here day in and day out.
And finally, your moment of awe. Kansas City Zoo welcomed its newest member New Year's Eve, a baby rhinoceros. Only a few days old, the zoo hasn't found out the gender or picked a name yet, but this tyke is already very important. The eastern black rhino is critically endangered with only 740 left in the wild. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
All right, Rusty was showing us some great sunsets earlier. You found another one?
I found there's 5 of them. I mean, they're just awesome. Let's take this. These are all from our cameras. You can see these online on our website. This one's from Schoen's Roofing in Beatrice. That sunset is looking very nice in Beatrice. So can't wait to show you this one though. Southeast Community College. Holy goodness, that is nice. 84th and O Street, looking really nice. This one's Honda of Lincoln, also, you guys. That's South 27th and Yankee Hill Road. This one's on top of our camera, on top of our tower here at the studios, looking really nice there as well. And then the yellow cam, also just gorgeous.
That's an awesome end to a show. Thanks, Rusty. Thank you all for joining us.
With the